So this is our iReady family session, and I'm Dr. Mercedes Taylor, and I'm one of the implementation and literacy consultants for iReady, and I'm a representative for Twin Rivers Unified School District. So our focus today is to give you an overview of what iReady is and explain how you can support your student. We want to make sure that you feel comfortable with the diagnostic and with what happens after the student finishes the diagnostic. So we have a few outcomes today. First, you'll be able to explain what iReady is and how the program can support student learning. You'll be able to understand how the iReady adaptive diagnostic works. You will identify resources available to families in supporting your students. And you will understand how iReady personalized instruction works. And this is our agenda for today. And just note that we'll have a question and answer session at the very end. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat. And once we get to our Q&A, feel free to come off of mute and ask any questions that you have. So we'll start with an overview of what iReady is and how the assessment works. So iReady is an online program for reading that will help your students' teachers determine your students' needs, personalize their learning, and monitor their progress throughout the school year. iReady allows teachers to meet your student exactly where they are and provides data to increase their learning gains. So we're going to take a little bit just to learn a little bit more about iReady. So first, iReady was built from rigorous standards in reading, and it's a program that's designed to meet many educator and student needs. It's going to connect rich assessment data to personalized digital learning and teacher-led instruction. So it provides a comprehensive insight into student learning across K through 12 skills that pinpoints students' strengths and next steps for instruction. It provides students with aspirational, attainable goals to get them on a path toward proficiency or advanced proficiency levels. It's going to engage your students through motivating, personalized reading instruction based on their individual skill level. And the teachers will have access to whole class and small group instruction to foster student growth and grade level learning. All of these resources are going to be in the iReady Connect account. So we've got tailored student and educator interfaces that put the information you and your students need front and center. iReady is a powerful program that will save your teachers time and help students reach high expectations. So we're going to start off talking about the diagnostic. So the purpose of the diagnostic is to determine how best to support your students' learning, and it's not meant to give your student a score or a grade. It's an adaptive assessment that provides teachers with rich data to help them personalize student learning and meet their individual learning needs. This diagnostic is designed to help your student's teacher provide the right instruction for your student based on their unique strengths and needs. So the way that an adaptive assessment works is that it is going to target key skills that each student's need to accelerate their learning. So if a student has never completed an iReady diagnostic, the assessment is going to start at a difficulty level 1 grade below the student's chronological age. If a student has previously completed an iReady diagnostic, the diagnostic will start approximately where the student left off on that previous assessment. The assessment is going to use the pattern of correct and incorrect responses to all the questions that students have answered to determine the difficulty level of the next question to administer. As students answer questions correctly, they will get more difficult questions. As they answer questions incorrectly, they will get easier questions. And this is designed so that the student will get about 50% of items correct and 50% incorrect. iReady will then generate an overall performance level for each student in reading. The information in the diagnostic gathers from this process allows iReady to pinpoint where and why students are struggling. And this will help your student's teacher provide instruction that is just right for your student. So in other words, some questions will be hard, some will be easy, and some will be just right for your student, helping iReady gather the information that the teachers need to target their needs. Teachers will receive detailed reports that help them understand your students' learning strengths and needs. Teachers will also have access to a 4 families report that they can share with you to help you understand your students' learning strengths and needs. There's also an Understanding Your Students' iReady Diagnostic Results Guide and a video to help you better understand the iReady diagnostic and your students' data. That is found on our iReady Family Center, which I will share at the end of our session today. After students complete the diagnostic, they will begin working on personalized instruction lessons. The personalized instruction lessons provide all students with individualized digital support. These lessons are going to deliver powerful instruction that are real quality instruction built from rigorous state standards in reading. They are aligned with the science of reading as well. So it is driven by insights from the iReady diagnostic and delivers personalized instruction plans to meet each student where they are. It provides automated, differentiated instruction to motivate students on their paths to proficiency and growth. And then finally, it complements teacher-led instruction, which allows you to target specific skills when students need additional support or need enrichment and challenge. Finally, it's going to complement teacher-led instruction, which allows teachers to target specific skills when students need additional support or that challenge. You may see different versions of the student dashboard depending on your student's age. So grades K through 2 will have a yellow background, and 3 through 8 will have the blue background. When students log on to iReady Connect, they'll be prompted to choose a subject. And in this case, Twin Rivers is using reading. Once they select a subject, they'll be taken to the to-do screen. Once that first diagnostic is completed, the to-do screen will show their personalized instruction. This is where students can view teacher-assigned lessons, if their teacher has assigned any lessons. They can also view their MyPath iReady lessons that are based on that diagnostic. When students select the My Progress button, they can see what they've recently completed and how they performed on the diagnostic and lessons. They can view some key lesson stats and track their lesson streak. And they can view completed work, which displays those completed lessons and their diagnostic scores. So we recommend at iReady that all students aim for 45 minutes of personalized instruction per subject per week, and that they should have a range of 30 to 49 minutes of personalized instruction while passing at least 70% of lessons. When we say that 45 minutes, teachers have the option to break that up into smaller segments. So your child is not going to be on a computer for 45 minutes out of a day. Now, once you select that My Progress button, students can see what they've recently completed once again, and how they performed on the diagnostic and their lessons. And they can see that time on task, the lessons passed this school year, and they can track their lesson streak that tells the greatest number of lessons they've passed in a row. And they can also view their completed work. Once they click on completed work, they can view all of their scores. Our suggestion is that you have your students track their progress at home, either with one of our lesson trackers, which will be on the Family Center, or on a piece of paper so that students can compare their performance throughout their lesson path. In the My Stuff section, K through 2 students can personalize their iReady Connect dashboard by selecting a buddy and a theme. They can also use rewards that they've earned by passing lessons. to play games of their choice. Grades 3 through 8 are going to personalize their dashboard with the theme, and they can also use their rewards to play games of their choice. In this section, we'll share what can be done before and during the diagnostic so that you can support your student from home. So what you can do to help prepare your student for the iReady diagnostic that they take 3 times per year. They take it at the beginning of the school year, the middle of the school year, and the end of the school year. You want to encourage them to try their best on each question and try not to rush. Use paper and pencil to show work if needed. For reading, to read each passage carefully and reread the passage when necessary. To check their work before going on to the next question. To try not to worry about questions they don't know, and remind them that it's expected that they'll only get about half of the questions correct. We would like for students to get a good night's sleep and eat a full breakfast the day of the assessment. And if they finish early in class, to be respectful of other students who take longer to finish. When they're taking the diagnostic, they'll click on the book for reading. And then they will click the green button to start the diagnostic, which will show on their screen. After they select the green button, your child will watch a video that explains the diagnostic to them. During the video, they'll have to click on buttons to see short videos to learn about the tools that will be needed for the diagnostic. They must click on all the buttons and watch the videos before they can select Start Test. In K through 2, your student will receive a congratulatory message. And once that diagnostic is completed, their MyPath personalized instruction lessons will appear on their screen. For grades 3 through 8, the student will receive a congratulatory message with their diagnostic score, and the lessons will then appear on their screen. Once your student has completed the diagnostic, their teacher will receive targeted and detailed data that will help them to provide teacher-led lessons that are just right for your student. Your student will also receive that personalized instruction MyPath. iReady supports teacher-led instruction. The platform generates data from the diagnostic that lets teachers view a comprehensive picture of a student's instructional needs. Teachers are provided with a report called the Diagnostic Results Report for each student. This data includes students' overall results and results by domain. It goes on to inform teachers of what each student can do and next steps for instruction for each domain of reading. Teachers use this information to tailor instruction to student needs. It even gives teachers instructional resources like these tools for instruction that they can use in small groups when instructing students. So iReady personalized instruction provides all students with personal digital support. Our personalized instruction delivers powerful online lessons with real quality instruction built from rigorous state standards. Personalized instruction is driven by insights from the iReady diagnostic to meet each student where they are. It provides automated, differentiated instruction to motivate students on their paths towards proficiency and growth. And finally, personalized instruction complements teacher-led instruction, which allows teachers to target specific skills when students are struggling or need enrichment and challenge. So iReady lessons are engaging and research-based, and they provide access to rigorous, differentiated, and grade level content that meets the needs of all learners. iReady personalized instruction lessons incorporate design principles, are engaging and research-based, provide access to rigorous, differentiated, and grade level content that meets the needs of all learners. This year, some middle school students have access to new essential lessons in iReady Pro. These new lessons help support students in foundational reading skills. They are part of new, streamlined lesson pathways to accelerate students towards grade level. Students access these new lessons on the My Path side of their iReady dashboard. These new lessons were built from teacher and student feedback and offer a more mature look and feel, making them even more appropriate for older students. They include more choice for students, like the option to retry lessons when they need additional support of the content. To support students working on lessons at home, you can do the following. You can ask them to log into their iReady accounts, and they can share how the new lessons work and what they look like. You can encourage them to complete skill and lesson retry options when they're available. We hope your child enjoys these new lessons designed to motivate our older learners. Based on the diagnostic, a large number of kindergarten students place an emerging K at the beginning of the school year. Because of this, emerging K lessons have been created. The lessons were created in two high priority domains, phonological awareness and phonics. The focus of these lessons are to get students ready for those early kindergarten lessons. Lessons are between 7 to 10 minutes long and will expose students to content that will enable them to be successful in those early K lessons. They include activities that are simple and easy to use for our youngest learners. Some examples of lessons. For a phonological awareness lesson, you would have exposure to rhyming and exposure to blending. For phonics lessons, you may have letter recognition. Data from the iReady diagnostic provides detailed information about each student's strengths and needs to help inform instruction. Our personalized instruction helps English learners by providing support that each student needs. Strategic scaffolds provide the right amount of support to help students access the material, build on their knowledge, and achieve independence. iReady is designed for English learner success. So first, it helps to motivate students with personal success. Using those strategic scaffolds allows students to access the material, while the student dashboard helps them track progress and take ownership of their learning. The strategic scaffolds provide the right amount of scaffold support to help English learners build on their knowledge to achieve independence. And it supports academic language development by offering multiple opportunities for English learners to acquire and use language that moves towards complexity. We're going to take a look at some strategic scaffold and personalized instruction that helps students access rigorous grade level content. So visual scaffolds and multiple representations help students access the content. This is an example of an iReady lesson showing a word problem using visuals and multiple representations to support content understanding. So on the left, the visual representation of the student's folded paper helps best select answer options to identify true statements. Without the visual support, it would be much harder for a student to understand that both halves have the same area. The visual comparison of the shaded and unshaded sections of paper help the student see this. Explicit and direct instruction gives students the opportunity to purposefully practice skills while receiving direct and timely feedback. Interactive tools in iReady lessons support direct instruction of vocabulary, like in this example where students can break the word protective into its base and suffix parts. In this sample, we also see that students are provided with an explanation of what a base word is, both in English and Spanish, with an added option for audio support. Providing direct instruction around word parts helps all students in their academic language development, and particularly English learners. Learning word parts is also a skill that can be applied when students encounter other unknown vocabulary in different contexts. Vocabulary supports provide word learning strategies for English learners. This is an example of what in-text vocabulary support and Spanish cognates look like in an iReady lesson. Cognates are words or terms that sound the same or almost the same and have the same meaning in two languages. In iReady vocabulary lessons, Spanish cognates are provided for English terms where they are applicable. Students can not only see the definition of the word illustration, but they also receive a picture or visual representation of the term. So now we'll talk about how to get support to assist your student at home with iReady. So the iReady Family Center has resources to help families support and encourage students. The information on this page is also available in Spanish. Oops, I'm sorry. That actually is not the correct link here. I will put the correct link in the chat so that you are able to access the iReady Family Center. Once you're on the Family Center, you will see a couple of things that you can use to help your student. You have a video that shows how you can support and encourage your students' success with iReady. You have a section that tells you what iReady is, frequently asked questions, and technical support. As you scroll down, you'll see that there is a family guide, a video to understand the iReady diagnostic data, a resource for understanding your students' iReady diagnostic results, fridge tips for iReady lessons at home student data trackers, a video that shows you how to support your student with online lessons at home, digital readiness that you can use with your students, technical and troubleshooting guide for families, and finally, a video to help your student understand and prepare for the diagnostic. Some ways to support your student at home is to make sure that you prepare by explaining what the diagnostic is, as well as the MyPath and why they're doing it. To make a plan on how your student will use their MyPath at home. Follow your teacher's guidance because teachers will often communicate with you on how to support your student at home or how they will be using MyPath at home. And also share information with them. To support your student, you can encourage them as they're working, as well as track and discuss progress. You can also celebrate their progress as you learn. Some preparation is that you can make sure that they have what they need. A quiet place to work is helpful. A device that works with iReady, internet, their login information, and headphones. They can have paper and pencil for tracking lesson progress, or you can print out one of those lesson trackers from the Family Center. To help them focus, you can plan together for how and when they will work on their learning activities. You can direct students to the to-do section for upcoming lessons. And please encourage them to take their time, ask questions, and take notes. We also want to keep them motivated by explaining that iReady will help them learn and get them ready for the next grade level. Encourage them to take their learning seriously, and remind them that mistakes are okay and a part of learning. If they don't pass a lesson, they have the chance to take it again. Help them track progress by discussing lessons and what they're learning. Ask them to tell you or write down what they've learned and any questions. And then have them regularly review their progress using the My Progress page. Lastly, we want to make sure to celebrate their progress. We want to make sure to celebrate milestones, such as passing a lesson or reaching a goal. And one example can be putting marbles in a jar after passing lessons. We also want to reward hard work and focus. So you can have certificates of achievement that you receive from your teachers. Make sure to post those so that they're visible at home. So to close up before we start the Q&A section, the key takeaways from the iReady diagnostic are that it provides information to your student's teacher so they can best meet your student's needs. The diagnostic helps your student by encouraging them to try their best on the assessment, so make sure that you pump up your students so they're excited. And you can also use the resources that are available on our support site for families. Personalized instruction key takeaways. Personalized instruction provides students with lessons based on their diagnostic assessment. Make sure to regularly review progress with your student using the My Progress page on the student dashboard. And lastly, celebrate your students' progress.